Thank you very much, fellow Kenyans. I'm BABU OWINO, Member of Parliament for Embakasi East constituency. Today I'm here to talk about the witch hunt that is coming from the government. The government of the day, the state has realized that our popularity has really grown and that they want to manage, they want to dwarf this popularity. They have approached BABU OWINO on several occasions so that BABU can work with government, but BABU has refused and has said clearly that he wants to work for Kenyans, and that if the government was offering services to citizens, the services that were promised during the campaign periods, if they were working, if the cost of living was reduced, if taxes were reduced, if there were jobs for Kenyan citizens, if the health sector was working, if education sector was working, then BABU OWINO would not have any business opposing the government. But why do we oppose the government? Why do we keep checks and balances on the government? It's because the government has not shown any effort to solve these issues of concern that I am raising. And therefore, because of that reason, there is a meeting that was held last week, a meeting that involved serious stakeholders in this country, and they were asking how BABU OWINO can be put down, how BABU OWINO can be managed. Some proposed that BABU OWINO should be approached, bought, bribed, so that he can support the government. Some came with an idea that BABU OWINO should be dealt with perpendicularly, that they should send the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to our offices to come and besmirch the good name of BABU OWINO. And therefore, I was reliably informed, information from very serious sources, that this week EACC was to come visit us at our offices in Donholm, Greenspan Mall, 2nd floor. If not this week, then next week they are to come, or any other time that they will deem fit. And the intention is very clear, that we need to put BABU down. We need to tell the public that there are corruption allegations in Embakasi East office. And I want to tell you clearly that the Auditor General produced a report for all the constituencies, the 290 constituencies in this country. And the lady, you know how she works, she can't be bribed. If the government cannot bribe her, then BABU OWINO automatically cannot bribe this lady, and she's been doing a great job. And the report was clear, and I want to read to Kenyans this report from the Auditor General. I want to go to the conclusion because this is a public document. Report on lawfulness and effectiveness in use of public resources. Conclusion. As required by Article 229, Sub-Article 6 of the Constitution, based on the audit procedures performed, except for the matter described in the basis for conclusion on lawfulness and effectiveness in use of public resources section of my report, I confirm that nothing else has come to my attention to cause me, the Auditor General, to believe that public resources have not been applied lawfully and in an effective way. If this report came from the Auditor General and it is a public document, then why does the government want to use EACC to come and intimidate BABU OWINO? I want to tell the EACC that you are an independent body. Do not get involved in this politics. And by the way, the office is very open. Anytime you want to know about any project in Embakasi's constituency, we have done all the projects that we advertised in Embakasi's constituency. And there is a clear procedure on how the tenders are awarded in any public office. All the procedures as confirmed by the funds manager, as confirmed that all the procedures were followed. There is no any conflict of interest. None of my companies has been awarded any job in Embakasi's constituency. None of my friends' companies has been awarded in Embakasi East constituency because there's a laid down procedure on procurement process. And in the procurement process, in that committee, there's a person that comes from the public works. Public works is an appendage of the national government. There's a person that comes, there's a procurement officer that comes from Nyayo House under the Ministry of Interior. That is Office of the President directly. Who determines who is to be given what? And in this country, if you are in opposition, there's nothing you can influence, even if you wanted to influence. And therefore, if the government wants to come for me, I want to tell you that you've come for me severally. This is not any news to me. I have faced so many things within the court corridors, and now you have decided that you want to come just with an intention to soil, to pollute the otherwise good name of the best member of parliament in this country. Why would members of Embakasi East constituency vote to rank me as the best member of parliament in this country if there were fraud cases? I want to remind you that my mother did not give birth to a thief. I did not come to Nairobi to steal money for Embakasi East constituents. I did not come to Nairobi to frustrate my people or Kenyans. I came to Nairobi to study, and I got a job as a member of parliament for Embakasi East constituency. And therefore, my work in Nairobi is to work for my people. My work in Nairobi is to ensure that my people goes to school. Our children goes to school. And there is no any constituency in this country that gives bursary in the most transparent way like Embakasi East constituency. I go there, I produce forms to every ward, issue forms. This other one, 2024, 2025, we had 25,000 applicants. I went back with checks, issued checks to some of the constituents. The ones who are remaining, I promised that I will not go back to issue forms until I go back with the checks. That tells you clearly I got there at 8 a.m. in the morning during the issuance of bursary checks. I do them personally on the pitch, on the field. So there is nothing. So EACC, we know the officers that are being used, both at the national level and at the county level. You need to start investigating the county of Nairobi where money is stolen on a single second, single minute, single day, single month. Money is stolen, money is lost from the county. Do not come to disturb people in Embakasi East constituency. And if you want to come, go and check all the projects. Look at the Donholm Secondary School. Perfectly done. Look at Tasia that you want to stop now that you don't want us to build. Tasia Primary School. It has not even been awarded. The tender was just put up the other day, was advertised the other day. It has not been awarded. And now we are being informed that you want to stop the construction of that school. Why would you do that? Why are you an enemy of progress as a government? We were elected to work, and I was elected by my people to work, and I have an independent mind to work. I will not suspend my brains to support any other person, no matter how much you coerce me. It doesn't matter. There are people that you can coerce, there are people that you can put pressure on, but you can never put pressure on me. I know where I'm going, and I will reach there no matter what. It doesn't matter. And I want to tell you, the EACC, keep off this war. This is not your war. Don't be used, don't be misused, don't be abused into doing things that is not within your mandate. Right now, why don't you go and consult with the Auditor General on this report? Why do you want to come and intimidate people in Embakasi's constituency? And after all, the much you can do is just to take somebody to court. What else can you do? So mwachane na upuzi na ujinga mingi watu wa EACC.
Bunge, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BAV. This is Bunge Audio Visual. And thank you for the 300 subscribers, and welcome to another 5 episode of Bunge Podcast, where we break down the stories that matter, raw and unfiltered. So today you've watched the video, and today we're going to talk about Embakasi East Member of Parliament, that is BABU OWINO, who once again found himself in the middle of a political storm. But this time, he's not just calling out the government. He's accusing it of a direct, targeted witch hunt. So some of you might be asking yourselves, what's really happening? Is this just politics as usual, or is there a bigger game at play? So without further ado, let's get into it. And I would like to urge you guys, continue subscribing to my channel for you to be able to get more insightful content and educative content as well. So let's talk about the government's playbook. And this isn't just the first time we've seen an outspoken politician claim to be targeted by the state. We've seen so many MPs, so many senators trying to come out and defend themselves, or rather inform the people, or rather create some sort of awareness to the citizens about a political lucha that they're about to face. And BABU OWINO is not one to mince his words. And this time, he's coming out guns blazing. The MP claims that there have been high-level meetings held to strategize on how to manage or dwarf his rising popularity. And according to him, the state is trying everything: bribery, intimidation, and even legal battles to keep him in check. But let's be honest, we've seen this playbook before in Kenyan politics. But is BABU OWINO really a threat to the government, or is he just playing the victim card? So as we talk about the government's playbook, you're all aware that this is the first time we've seen an outspoken politician claim to be targeted by the state. And from past regimes to the current one, politicians who refuse to fall in line often find themselves in trouble. And BABU OWINO says he has been approached multiple times to work with the government, but he has refused because he wants to work for the Kenyans, and especially the members of Embakasi East constituency. And the question is, why now? And has his influence really grown that much? And if so, why is the state so worried about BABU OWINO's growing popularity as the days have been unfolding? So I'd like us to discuss about the bigger picture. And talking about the bigger picture, I would like us to give a brief information, rather a brief explanation on the power struggles that are actually ongoing in this particular country. Because let's not forget about let's not forget that 2027 is around the corner, and the Kenyan politics is heating up. And BABU OWINO has built a strong following, especially among the youth, because recently you've seen he has been ranked as the best member of parliament in the initial opinion polls that have been conducted. And to many have been asking, could this be a case of early political maneuvering to neutralize a future heavyweight? Or is this just another episode of the never-ending political drama in Kenya? Because, of course, as a leader, or rather as a politician in Kenyan politics, you need to be always ahead of the game for you to be able to survive, or to ensure that you've got, excuse me, longevity in your craft. Because whatever the case, one thing that is clear is that BABU OWINO is not backing down anytime soon, despite the several tactics being applied by the government to come and try and destroy his reputation by any means necessary. So as you talk about the thoughts that are actually that most of us have with them, is that the kind of question that most of the people actually asking themselves is, what happens next? Because what happens next? Will BABU OWINO survive this alleged witch hunt, or will he finally bow to the pressure, or will this battle push him even further into the limelight? And most importantly, what does this mean for the future of opposition politics in Kenya? Because one thing is certain at the moment, in Kenyan politics, things are never as they seem, because Kenyan politics is so dynamic. Because one day you might find somebody accusing the other of being politically lame. The next day you find them dining together and whining together, whining and dining in the same room. So things usually change, and for you to be able to survive in such a situation, you also need to exude, or rather embrace, adaptability. Because there is a saying that goes, not only the strong nor the fastest survive in the modern world, but the most adaptable. Yeah. So I don't know what to say about this, because for BABU OWINO to survive, it means that he'll have to do two things. He'll either go the easy way or the hard way, the way he's just explained in the video. Because BABU OWINO in the recent past has been doing good, and among all the politicians that I've known since I started doing some follow-ups on politics, I think BABU OWINO is among the few politicians who have been able to stand firm and stood their ground without showing any element of rigidity, or not rigidity, any element of cowardice. Because if you look at the guys like Akina Edwin Sifuna and BABU OWINO, this and Peter Salasia, these are some of the leaders in this country that are actually willing to die on their feet than live on their knees. So I don't know what happens next, but what I can say is that we need to give some time and see how things are going to unfold. Because BABU, for him, he's not supporting the current government, despite the fact that his leader of opposition, that is Raila Amolo Odinga, has recently signed the memorandum of understanding with the UDA, that is ODM UDA agreement. Despite that signing of the MOU that we saw at was it KCO Bomas, guys like BABU OWINO and Eugene Sifuna and Edwin Sifuna, is it Edwin Sifuna or Eugene Sifuna? Eugene Sifuna have not stood, have not been shaken by the kind of unfortunate act their leader did to them when he signed the MOU with the UDA flag bearer, that is His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto. So I don't know what you think, guys. Is BABU OWINO facing a real political witch hunt, or is this just another calculated political move? I'd like you guys to drop your thoughts in the comment section, and kindly like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fire content. Until next time, we stay woke, we stay informed, and stay positive at Bunge Audio Visual, rather Bunge Podcast. So yeah, continue hitting that subscribe button, continue sharing my videos. Yeah, see you next time. Adios muchachos, peace.